Another day, another protest. There's a lot of talk about protests these days, and where the line between protest and terror supporting and free speech, where that line is drawn. Check out this clip over here of protesters. Guess who they're protesting. Guess what they're protesting. Well, we're going to hear from them themselves what they're protesting and what they want. And you may be a little surprised. But before we do, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. You're not going to want to miss this.
So, can you tell me what you're doing out here?
I'm doing what I'm here is I'm witnessing some true police brutality as students were peacefully marching earlier against the detainment and attempted deportation of Mamdouh Khalil. Right now, what's going on right now is an attack on free speech, and what's going on is an attack on the rights of Palestinians and protesting for a free Palestine.
Free speech. It's amazing how much that term has changed for people without jobs. This is not free speech. Occupying a school library and passing out pamphlets that celebrate October 7th is not free speech. That's promoting terrorism. You are more than willing to say something really dumb and call it free speech. You've been doing that for a while now with Free Palestine and Trump is a dictator. That all falls under low IQ statements, and it's permissible by US law. However, it's not free speech when you start vandalizing stuff and saying death to America. It's also not free speech to break into a classroom that is learning about Israel and occupy it.
Can you take your drum out and your whole thing out?
To make it seem like the world without Israel doesn't exist until we know.
Here's a clip that is now resurfacing of Khalil speaking to a class and blatantly saying, "We tried armed resistance."
We tried armed resistance.
Are people covering the road right now? I saw someone get arrested.
No, right now the NYPD is pretending that people are on the road right now. Everyone's clearly on the sidewalk, but police had already made arrests of people on the sidewalk already.
So the haters are saying that it's like not free speech because there was pamphlets saying death to America and he was part of the Colombian Divest group. Can you tell those people that it's free speech?
It is free speech. It is free speech like everything else. It is a call for changes, for more understanding of what the U.S. has been doing in the last 10 decades, last century. It is a call on for there to be an end to the occupation, for the end of the genocide to Palestinians, and for the U.S. to stop funding that genocide. Free speech does not just mean standing around and just begging for politicians to say.
I saw he occupied the library or whatever. Is that like, I don't know how I felt about that.
Well, it's civil disobedience.
Okay.
There are many lines of free speech, many ways to protest.
Yeah.
Many people may agree with one way and many people may not agree with another, but it is free speech at the end of the day.
I want to ask you about two more things he said that's interesting. So he said like October 7th was necessary because we have to move toward violence. How do you feel about October 7th? Do you feel it was a good thing, a bad thing?
I think that it's very easy for people to like emotions can get a little high with an event like that. I think that how people react is depending on how much they know about the subject at hand.
Sure, but do you feel like Hamas did the right thing?
I think that at its core, Israel has a lot to answer for with how they treat the people of Palestine, and in many ways, it's not just a single attack. It was an attack that was based off of years and years of aggression from Israel.
So do you feel like it's justified?
I think to some extent it was justified. They are attempting to deport a man who is not in any way by law should be you shouldn't be able to deport them.
Yeah.
It's very obviously aggression from the Trump administration, and more importantly from our government right now, to silence pro-Palestinian voices.
I've been reading about the law that's around the green card deportation, and it's like if you support terrorism activity, then you're subject to deportation.
But it's not,
And he was
terrorism.
He was chanting from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
Well, that's not a call. That's not necessarily a call. That's a terrorist call. It's a call for a free
But Israel
Palestine.
is between, the Mediterranean Sea and the Jordan River. So from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. What happens to Israelis? What happens to the Israelis?
The truth is, I don't speak for the Palestinian Authority. I don't speak for Hamas. For me, how they interpret the saying, I sympathize with either way. For me, if there is a way to ensure that a Palestinian state is achieved, then and by definition that there is no longer a call for any form of action. I understand why people would find that a somewhat tough subject, but I think that
because Hamas wants to kill all Jews and all Christians.
The thing is, I would doubt that they kill. It would just be a more, it would be a reinstate of a Palestinian land. And if you learn about what was going on before Israel.
Hold on, but why do you doubt that it would be a kill? Like they killed a baby and they paraded with his coffin.
Yeah, and Israel killed like millions of babies and millions of children.
So when they killed that baby and paraded them around, you felt that it was okay?
I think that for those who are focusing on that one aspect, they are not focusing on the greater aspect.
I'm just asking you, do you feel like that was okay? That discipline?
No killing by definition is bad, and that's why Israel should not be bombing Gaza and should not be.
Do you believe that he shouldn't be deported?
No.
Okay, tell me why.
Because he's not a criminal. It's that simple.
Yeah.
He's a student, he's not a criminal.
So there's this law that I was reading about today that was like, if you support terrorist activities and you have a green card.
They got a million stupid laws. They can make up anything they want.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter.
Like, I know his group was saying like death to America. Do you feel like that's not?
I say death to America.
You think that? Oh wait, tell me that. That's interesting. Like, so death to America.
The
like
politicians, yeah.
So what does it mean? Like, what does death to America mean?
It means get rid of this fucking system. Get rid of the politicians. Get rid of the morons that vote for these morons.
How do we get rid of all the morons though?
Educate people and tell them to stop fucking voting. That's one of my flags about.
But then why death to America then?
Because that teaches people to be stupid.
It teaches people to be stupid?
The educational system in America teaches you to be stupid.
Yeah, but why the phrase death to America? Because that is a...
Because how do you get rid of the educational system?
We're doing it right now, right?
No, we're not. We're just protesting.
No, I mean, like, they're closing the Department of Education. They're revamping it.
No, they're just doing the same old bullshit. Just give it a different name. Republicans, Democrats, I don't care what they do. They're all the same scumbags.
Okay. So what would be a better system?
What does that A mean?
What is it? Amicable? So no government.
Yes, government doesn't teach you freedom, it teaches you tyranny.
Yeah. So, can I ask why you live in America?
Because I was born here and that's all I know is English. And I don't have money for papers to live anywhere I want. I gotta live where I can afford.
This guy is one Spanish textbook and a plane ticket away from leaving. Should we start a GoFundMe for him?
I feel like it's going to be hard to just like get rid of government as a concept.
Why do you think it's hard?
It's been going for a couple hundred years.
Because people have been stupid for 100 years.
Yeah.
All right, let's be serious. Anarchy is not going to happen in this country. We have a constitution, and even the most insane politicians like AOC and Rashida Tlaib like the power that they have. No modern country has ever fallen to anarchy. Not once.
Do you think that you could pull it off to get rid of government in this country?
Yeah, there's no other way. What else are you going to do? Keep putting up with this shit?
Okay, fair enough.
You know, the bigger these protests are, the less I even recognize my own country. I didn't take this video in Palestine. I took it 5 minutes away from the World Trade Center. Then I'm walking to my next protest and I see this guy, a paramedic with a Palestinian flag stitched on his jacket. If two Israelis visiting America get injured and he's the one to treat them, will he try his hardest or will he really take his time? he should not have his job anymore. Anyone in a job where they have to treat civilians should not be able to have a flag that celebrates death on their work jacket.
Nobody has a right to a student visa. Nobody has a right to a green card. These are not things that are owed to anybody. And if you would have put on your application when applying for these things, which you can be denied, if you would have put on the application that you are a terror supporter, you would not have been granted entry into the United States. And so therefore, if it's later discovered that you do have those views and you are violently protesting and espousing and supporting these particular views, there's vandalism, there's all sorts of things going on, you would be you should be removed from this country. I don't know why this is even I don't know why this is even something on the discussion table. What do you think? I'd love to hear your comments below. And if you like this content overall, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. Love to stay in touch. Take care.